Peace, 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 peace. This is part 3, the destruction of the black civilization. Before we get in there, this whole concept is because the ancestors woke me up early this morning at 3:41, and I need to put this message out. And it's based on the focal point on slavery, the origin of it, and why we don't discuss it, and why we seem to keep pointing the finger at everyone else. It's always been my journey to know who, what, and who I am. But the Creator is everything. Without the Creator, I'm nothing. Let's pay all due respects. The sun rises. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Amun. Let's get into it. This is part 3. The destruction of the black civilization. Why is it destruction? How come it exists? Why it's been done? Because we did it to ourselves. Well, I last left off on part 2. Excuse me. Well, last left off on part 2, basically saying about Jim Brown. There was a quotation that he had put up when they was talking about black people, why black people can't get along and so forth, and why they seem to never be able to get together. First of all, black people never was together. Okay, you can see that. Okay, you just can't go into Africa in any nation and walk up in there and say, "Hey, my brother." It don't work like that. Maybe y'all in your subconscious mind here in the United States, you think you can do that, but you damn sure fooling yourself. Okay? We only came together because we was at the bottom of them slave ships. Not you and I per se, but our descendant. Okay? We need to come to some kind of reasonable thought about why and how come we seem not to want to discuss the vocal point of slavery. The vocal point of slavery comes from black people. The vocal point of slavery, it might not have been in a humane way, but it was there. All the other nations, 13 nations, if you will, look this up. Look this up. You will find, matter of fact, I helped you. Okay, so in this part, I'm telling you, I helped you. I looked it up. I put it on my page. Look on my page. Look and study these documents. I got videos that show you 13 nations was part of the slave trade in Africa. Okay? If you really want to know, you want to get to this focal point of the starting point, I put out at least 4, maybe 3 to 4 different clips or documentaries discussing about slave trade, that we sold each other. Okay? You don't want to know it. You don't want to discuss it. As long as you sitting there pointing a finger at somebody, you happy. We happy, emotional people, you see. And listen here, you don't have to follow me no more. Because I told you before, this is my journey. My journey is going to continue on to the day I die. Okay? I'm not here to satisfy y'all. Okay? Just before I get back into what I was talking about in part 2, excuse me. You just like, look what kind of society we living in. You got people sitting up there getting mad at their own people if you're trying to discuss about certain genders. You got people get mad about political reasons. You got people get mad about religion because they think they know and they believe on what they was taught as a child and don't realize that everything you think you know is a lie. Period. You just living in this world to eat and to have a roof over your head. What else you doing? All these different cars and toys and all this stuff. That's part of entertainment. It's to entertain you. Because if these things wasn't done, it would be the way it was in the civilization. You know what they was doing in ancient civilization, right? if you did any kind of studying, it's to conquer different lands and take the resources and make you a slave. What else they were supposed to do? If we want to be sarcastic about it, some nations use their own people, and then somebody common sense like, why are we using our own people when we can use them? Getting back to the focal point of slavery, we could use them instead of using our people. Huh? They got movies about stuff. When Mel Gibson made a movie, I think it was called The Apocalypse, right? But they wasn't talking about Africans. They was talking to indigenous people, how they were showing how they started off with this little nation, you call it tribes, right? Here in this Northern America, if y'all watch the movie, then they showed you how another tribe come from another part of the northern world, captured, left the children because they didn't need the children. But this was about the Mayans per se. How they snatched these people, used the men by painting their bodies blue to sacrifice these men to the sun god. They killed over 250,000 people a year. Not in their eyes, they're not looking at it as murder. They looking at it as, why should we do it to our own people? We can capture another nation and do that too. We use the women for whatever we need them to. They didn't touch the children, and figure why they didn't touch the children. But that's just another level of dealing with the human race. The vocal point, once again, of slavery is we did it to ourselves. And then when you did it to yourself, what you did was, after different nations begin to develop and become more powerful, well, guess what? They went on pilgrimage for resources. We need resources, so we need to go where the vocal point is. So they started scavenging each other, scavenging and snatching and taking and moving forward and moving forward. From that point on, you had guys, they send scouts out, voyages, if you will. Oh, we've seen this land. It was so beautiful with milk and honey and gold. Sometimes, they improvised and said all kinds of shit and made up stuff. They even sat up there and talked to some of the indigenous people from this land that they knew nothing about. And dialogue was probably way off, but they started seeing things on them. You see? That's that scene. Wait a minute, what's that on your nose? Is that gold? Is that gold that you got on? To the indigenous people at that land, gold wasn't nothing to them. That's things they wore. Metals they had. Didn't mean nothing. But to the other eye, from the other nations, oh, that was precious. I've got to have that. Remember about resources. Water, food, metal. These are precious resources. We need these things. The African wars, the Kemites, the Hittites. These things is in the Bible. Canaanites. Think about it. These are wars. Wars after wars, gods and goddesses. And after wars, it's called spoils. Long before the Romans, long before the Greeks, The Greeks spawned from your black ass. Because if you go in to do your research, look at the first Greeks, they were black people, mulattoes. They just traveled from one destination to another, no man's, if you know what no man's is. They travel, looking for resources. And then, when you traveling, guess what? Most likely, you stay where you at. And then from that point on, so on and so forth. Understand the vocal point. If African people never had started the slave trade, because they started it, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. You and I would be somewhere else. What nation? You don't know. I don't know. That DNA test bullshit, does it accurately tell you what nation? Does it? Because many nations been destroyed. Many nations does not exist to this day. You could have, per se, say Syria. Syria wasn't always Syria. If you go back 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, it wasn't always Syria. Was Congo always Congo? Look at Egypt. Egypt don't look like Egypt. Do Egypt look like Egypt? If I woke up from the dead from 10,000 years, this is using an example. I woke up from the dead, and I go walk in Egypt, and I seen all these mulattoes and Creoles that's in Egypt now. I'm gonna be in shock. Who's these people? Where's my people who look like me? Are we using common sense? The world have changed. Ideas have changed. You have to understand the focal point of slavery. You got to understand it. You're pointing the finger at everyone but yourself. And then when you understand the concept of yourself, and when you understand that you don't really know yourself, but you understand you from a descendant from Africa, this is where all life began. You can understand the spirituality, not religion. When you begin to understand and then accept this, then now you could be able to tackle all these other issues. Why you can't get along, why men seem to want to kill each other for the most simplest little things, why women lost their power. See, understand the woman's godship is because she brings forth life. Man cannot bring forth life. Women bring forth life. Understand that. You literally take the word G-O-D, God. You literally go, you're being disrespectful. You don't even understand it. Because the Creator have thousands of names. Where you think Jesus, the word Jesus just came out of nowhere? It was created. You think the Hebrew name, quote unquote, Yoshahim, it was created. Or Yoshah, excuse me. It was created. What's the origin? They believe the origin comes from Heru, H-E-R-U. Then they believe from Heru, the Greeks got it, Horus, which a lot of you black people go Horus because you don't understand. You stopped at the Greek theology and don't understand the Greeks revelished in African knowledge and theology. They relish in it. They wouldn't accept nothing else but the African knowledge. They marveled over the Egyptian theologies. They marveled over their landscape. Are you kidding me? You have to understand the powers that be. They're the ones who basically stop certain things because they don't want you to ever know your true history. But it's all in your face. Don't you see black people don't even want you to wear dashikis? You can't even wear dashikis at a job? I mean, yo, this is crazy. This is a cloth, a material that's been made. Has its designs, and it tells you things in its design. But you can't dress like that at your job without people, what is that? Understand the philosophy. Understand the vocal point of slavery. I keep announcing that because if you don't understand slavery, where it comes from, how it started, and you don't want to accept it, then understand why we're not together. You're only going to have groups of people who will come together because they all understand and want to collaborate on certain issues and events, and will be able to collaborate and study and trying to figure out how can they fix these things. It's going to take years. And I don't mean 20. It's going to take a lifetime. Because the damn shit took a lifetime from the slavery point of its point of origin to now, which slavery still exists. And now that people still selling our people. So now you got the Arabs, okay? You got the sand people, okay? They ain't about mixed people. All of them are mixed. Because to break it down simply, it's just one race, the human race. We keep going by the color codex of white and black. These are the two masterful colors that we constantly using throughout the generations. White, black, black, white, and in between that, all these different shades of people. Oh shit, I'm gonna pass.